spots. Peace and love, family.
Peace and love.
Peace and love, Kyle.
Is now live. We say this prayer to cover us all. We are coming out. Peace and love, family. Of all. Peace and love, family. The wickedness.
Peace and love.
Peace and love, family. Okay. Spots.
Peace and love.
This is this reporter keeps saying peace and love. I'm trying to go live and it didn't go live for some reason. On Instagram. I was trying to say the prayer on there as well. Okay. So now we're in the prayer. This is the prayer for all of us, Asiatics. In the world, cover us. I, Empress N.T.L. Bay, and we, all the Aborigine, autochthonous of the world, with the powers invested in me and we, with my masculine and my feminine, Shekinah powers within, invoke the Holy Spirit of truth to break, dissolve, and cut all soul ties in the spirit realm and astral plane attached to me and my family of the Moors. Anything that is ungodly and does not serve our highest and best good. We now cut it, dissolve it, and wash it away now. I, Empress N.T.L. Bay, and we, the Asiatic population, Aborigine of the world, cancel, remove, and destroy all altars made in my image and likeness, our image and likeness. I, Empress N.T.L. Bay, and we, the whole of Asiatics populations throughout the world, break, remove, and destroy all rituals that have been brought against us in the astral plane, spirit realm. All spells, curses, hexes, and rituals are now bound up, destroyed, and sent back to the senders forever. I, Empress N.T.L. Bay, and we, the Aborigine, autochthonous Asiatics throughout the world, cut, sever, and destroy all spiritual agreements and contracts that we have entered into, knowingly or unknowingly, that has hindered us, that has hindered our lives, that has hindered us, past, present, and future. I cancel, destroy, dissolve any and all attacks brought against us in the dream state that may have attached itself to us and to our families. I break all generational curses brought against us, Asiatics, Aborigine of the world. I break all generational curses brought against us. I break all generational curses brought against us. I, Empress N.T.L. Bay, and we, the whole population of Asiatics throughout the world, cancel, destroy, dissolve any and all attacks brought against us in the dream state that may have attached itself to us or our families. I break all generational curses brought against us and our families. I cut, sever, and cancel all soul tie agreements and contracts made along our family line that are ungodly and do not serve our highest and best good. I, Empress Ninti L. Bay, and we, the whole Asiatic autochthonous population of the world, release the wealth, riches, and gold held for us in the astral plane. Let it rain down to our palms in the physical manifestation. I, Empress Ninti L. Bay, and we, the Aborigine, declare that all beings sitting in our seats of power shall resign, be removed, or repent of our sins against the Most High Elohim's words and the Aborigine and Aboriginal Moors, landlords of the land of Mu. We declare that all imposter fiduciaries, trustees, and beneficiaries of the U.S. Corporation and all political bodies within, all over the world that have been over our vast estate, shall be removed and turn the keys over to the lawful heirs. Turn the keys to the White House back over to us, Buckingham Palace back over to us. All secret societies holding on to our words and our lost culture, hidden books that was left for us by our ancestors, they shall be brought back to us now. All hidden culture and knowledge of our connection to our cosmic and earthly creators shall be brought back to us now. Our ancestors who left us an inheritance of teachings and instructions, these violating impostors must correct their wrongs, or else all violators shall be punished pursuant to the Aboriginal Moors Charter and fee schedule, and their heirs and their children's children shall be cursed and be made to pay back their forefathers' debt to we, the Aboriginal Moors, and our heirs only in perpetuity, so on and so on and so on to infinity. So it is, so it is, so it is, and so it is. We say this prayer to cover us. You can get a copy of this prayer. Go to the website, aborigineofamerica.com. We say this prayer to break all the strongholds off of us as a whole. It is for us, Asiatics, so-called Black people. I want y'all to know that we are making some headway into our seats of power and ruling once again as we should. So when I say Asiatic, I mean us as a whole. When I say Moors, that's the ruling class, that's the ruling powers who are to sit in the seats of power since the beginning of time. That is the ruling families who are right now being impostered as these Black nobility families. So you have the Moors that ruled and ran governments all over the world, granted to us from the Most High gods, goddesses. Then you have the tribes, tributary tribes with tributary powers. There's no separation, there's no distinction. It's other than that. So I just want to make that clear. There's no competition between Moors and indigenous population of the world. It should not be. We all have those same bloodlines running through us over the span of time. It's just when you know, you have to relay the truth. That's what it is. Those who ruled, the ruling class of imperials and royals who created governments and civilizations, they call themselves Moors. Okay? Those are the ones you see on those crests. Those are the ones you see throughout the world, which we had that here as well, which I am working to resurrect the lost empire that was once here, that we were robbed of. It was taken from us and lied about. So if you all want to join us, we're on YouTube right now live, going into some more knowledge and information regarding some deep knowledge. Of course, Eyes Wide Open broadcast, Eyes Wide Open podcast. We're broadcasting live right now on YouTube as well. So come on over to YouTube and join the chat and join the conversation. Peace and love to my Instagram family. I just wanted to put that covering over the family. You can also get that prayer, reach out to me. It's online also at aborigineofamerica.com. Peace and love. Okay. Who wants to go next with the prayer? Anybody ready to jump in next with the prayer?
I'll go Empress. Jason Mondering, Timor Henderson, we Cherokee Nation of Moors. Powers invested in me with my masculine and feminine, our masculine and feminine Shekinah powers within. Invoke the Holy Spirit of truth to break, dissolve, and cut all soul ties in the spirit realm and astral plane attached to me and my family of the Moors that are ungodly and do not serve our highest or best good. I, Jason Von Jareen, Timor Hendricks Hill, and we, the Cherokee Nation of Moors, and the Aborigine Moors, remove and destroy all altars made in my image and likeness, our image and likeness. I, Jason Von Jareen, Timor Hendricks Hill, and we, the Aboriginal Moors, the Cherokee Nation of Moors, break, remove, and destroy all rituals that have been brought against us in the astral plane, spirit realm. All spells, curses, hexes, and rituals are now bound up, destroyed, and sent back to the cinders forever. I, Jason Von Jareen, Timor Hendricks Hill, and we, the Cherokee Nation of Moors, cut, sever, and destroy all spiritual agreements and contracts that we have entered into knowingly or unknowingly that has hindered the Moors, my life, my family's lives, past, present, and future. I cancel, destroy, dissolve any and all attacks brought against me in the dream state that may have attached itself to me or my family. I, Jason Von Jareen, Timor Hendricks Hill, and we, the Cherokee Nation, will break all generational curses. I break all generational curses. We break all generational curses brought against us and our families. I cut, sever, and cancel all soul tie agreements and contracts made along my family line and our family line that are ungodly and do not serve our highest or best good. I, Jason Von Jareen, Timor Hendricks Hill, and we, Cherokee Nation of Moors, Aboriginal Moors of the world, release the wealth, riches, and gold held for us in the astral plane. Let it rain down to our palm in a physical manifestation. I, Jason Von Jareen, Timor Hendricks Hill, and we the Moors declare that all beings sitting in our seats of power shall resign, be removed, or repent of their sins against the Most High Elohim's words, and the Aboriginal Moors, the landlords of the land of Mu. I, Jason Von Jareen, Timor Hendricks Hill, and we, the Aboriginal Moors, declare that all impostors, fiduciaries, trustees, and beneficiaries of the U.S. Corporation and all political bodies within that have been over our vast estate in America shall be removed and turn over the keys to the White House and the Buckingham Palace to we the Moors. All those secret societies holding on to our words left by our ancestors, our lost books, our stolen culture, our hidden cultures and knowledge of our connection to our cosmic and earthly creators, our ancestors who left us an inheritance of teachings and instructions. These violating impostors must correct their wrongs, or else all violators shall be punished pursuant to the Aboriginal Moors Charter and Fee Schedule. And their heirs and their children's children's children shall be cursed and made to pay back their forefathers' debt to we, the Aboriginal Moors, and our heirs, only in perpetuity. So on and so on to infinity. So it is, So it is. So it is. Ashe, 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 wow.
Ashe Wa. All right. Anybody want to go next? Jamez, you ain't said it in a long time. You're not prepared, huh? I'll say it again. I, Empress Nentiel Bay, and we, the Moors, the Asiatics throughout the world. You ready, Jamez?
Yeah, my camera, my shit was mute. I thought
Okay.
it was my fault.
Okay. We are
I
live. Go ahead.
I Jamez L, and we with the powers invested in me, with my masculine and feminine Shekinah powers, within invoke the Holy Spirit of truth to break, dissolve, and cut all soul ties in the spirit realm, the astral plane, attached to me and my family of the Moors that are ungodly and do not serve our highest and best good. I and we cancel, remove, and destroy all altars made in my image and likeness, our image and likeness. I and we break, remove, and destroy all rituals that have been brought against us in the astral plane spirit realm. All spells, curses, hexes, and rituals are now bound up, destroyed, and sent back to the senders forever. I and we cut, sever, and destroy all spiritual agreements and contracts that we have entered into knowingly or unknowingly that has hindered the Moors, my life, my family lives, past, present, and future. I cancel, destroy, and dissolve any and all attacks brought against me in the dream state that may have attached itself to me or my family. I break all generational curses brought against me and my family. I cut, sever, and cancel all soul tie agreements and contracts made along my family line that are ungodly and do not serve our highest and best good. I and we release the wealth, riches, and gold held for us in the astral plane. Let it rain down to our palms in the physical manifestation. I and we, Moors, declare that all beings sitting in our seats of power shall resign, be removed, or repent of their sins against the Most High Elohim's words and the Aboriginal Moors, landlords of the land of Mu. I and we declare that all imposter fiduciaries, trustees, and beneficiaries of the U.S. corporation and all political bodies within that have been over our vast estate in the Americas shall be removed and turn back the keys to the White House and Buckingham Palace to the Moors. All those secret societies hold on to our words left by our ancestors, our lost books, hidden culture, and knowledge of our connection to our cosmic and earthly creators. Our ancestors who left us an inheritance of teachings and instructions. These violating impostors must correct their wrongs, or else all violators shall be punished, pursuant to the Aborigine Moors Charter and fee schedule, and their heirs and children's children shall be cursed and be made to pay back their forefathers' debt to we the Aborigine Moors, and our heirs only in perpetuity. So it is, to infinity. So it is. As I, Thunder Hunter Jamez Natan El, and we with my masculine and feminine Shekinah powers, command our earthly ancestors of blood to activate our DNA and protect our flesh with guidance, aid, and assistance with 250 million angelic vibrations by way of La Morena Madonna, the holiest of the holy. Bring our earthly connection into the Akashic records of one accord spiritually as masters on this plane of soul, recognized universally as the Cherokee Nation of Mu, Salagi Dynasty, the great Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, governor of the celestial court of all the worlds, grant and apply youthfulness, security, discernment, intuition, wisdom, secret knowledge of our divine source, protection with Barbary lions and all the shape-shifting ancestors, scientific accuracy of King Tut, militaristic advancement of Empress Khalifa, diplomacy of Sultan Muhammad, and power of Al-Najashi tribes. We take all spells, hexes, curses, contracts, or rituals that have been casted upon I and we knowingly and unknowingly break, remove, and destroy all rituals, contracts, curses, and hexes that have been casted upon us in the physical, astral, and spiritual realm. All low vibrating spellcasters are turned back to the depths they come from and loved to death. All foreign colonial descendants and members of the secret European squares on the land of the chosen holy people of the Cherokee Nation of Mu, and all Aboriginal Moors of the land of our sacred source, who commit wicked acts against us shall be cursed forever, and all wrongdoers and transgressors' sins shall be paid back to us and our children by their children's children, as the gold rains into our palms of the physical manifestation. We will elevate and vibrate high physically, mentally, and spiritually with positive consistency, as we will be masters of our craft of our ancestors and keep Hiram Abiff out of the shallow grave as master navigators on this plane of soul. We will balance the application of the 7 Kemetic principles for the reflection of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice prepared by El Haj Sharif Abdul Ali. So it is, so it is, so it is. Ashe, 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 Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe, why? Anybody want to go next? That was the new prayer, huh?
Yeah, I added a little bit more since I sent it to Jermaine.
Okay. Doreen, you want to say the new prayer? And then we'll wrap it up. The new one that you all created. Have it available.
Ashe. Earthly ancestors above, I command all to protect and activate our DNA with guidance, aid, and assistance with 250 million angelic vibrations by way of Lamarina Madonna, the holiest of the holy. Bring our earthly connection into the Akashic records of one accord spiritually as masters on this plane of the soul, recognized universally as the Cherokee Nation of Mu, Sagi Dynasty, the great Allah, God of the celestial courts, grant youthfulness, security, discernment, intuition, wisdom, secret knowledge of our divine source, protection with barbarian lions and all the shape-shifting ancestors, scientific accuracy, King Tut and militaristic advancement of Empress Khalifa, and diplomacy of Sultan Muhammad, the power of all Najashi tribes. We take all spells, hexes, curses, contracts, and rituals that have been casted upon I and we, knowingly and unknowingly, and break, remove, and destroy all rituals, contracts, curses, and hexes that have been casted upon us in the physical, astral, and spiritual realms. All low vibrating spellcasters are turned back to the depths that they come from and love to death. Foreign colonial descendants and members of the secret king squares of the land of the chosen holy people of the Cherokee Nation, and all the aboriginal Moors of the lands of our sacred source who commit wicked acts against us shall be cursed forever, and all wrongdoers and transgressions shall be paid back to us and our children by the children's children as the gold rings into our palms and physical manifestations. We will elevate and vibrate highly, physically, mentally, and spiritually, and positive consistency. So it is, so it is, and so it is to infinity.
So it is, so it is, so it is. Ashe, 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 wow. So we're gonna get into some conversation about tapping into our powers. So I've been talking a lot to the tribe about the powers we have and the different tools that have been being used against us. So in order for us to be strong enough to combat as a whole, we have to first know and be aware of what our powers are and what we are being challenged with. So I want to share my screen real quick just to let you all see all of the actual talents that exist and that we can tap into, that we were born with. So everybody who was born with a soul has these abilities that can tap into one or more of these abilities. You got astral projection, and you got some people that can levitate. I've had several friends of mine that levitate when they sleep. I've always been in awe of that. I don't think I've ever done that. Nobody's ever told me that I've done it anyway. But these are things that we have the ability to incorporate into our daily existence. You have astral projection, automatic writing. I have definitely experienced that in all of my writings, all of that writing that's on the website, that was automatic writing from the ancestors. Okay, clairaudience, claircognizance, clairgustance, clairsentience, clairvoyance, divination. Look what they're saying divination is. The noble art of divination is the practice of gathering evidence from the spiritual world to interpret the physical world. There are many different ways to practice divination in order to predict the future, reveal things from the past, or better understand the present. This is what I have done with the International Royal High Court of the land, brought back the ancient art and ancient practice of divination to find the truth. These things were in place before the imposters came along and turned our existence upside down because they wanted to hide everything. They wanted to keep everybody in darkness. They wanted to keep the veil over everybody's eyes. So they took out these systems of divination. There are actual systems of divination that give you full clarity into any situation. The spiritual practice of using Ifa has proven to me to be one of the most precise systems of divination, other than my own knowledge, clairvoyance, higher knowledge that comes through, and that's called it's called, let me see, they have it listed here. Retrocognition, precognition. That's not the one I'm looking for. Okay, claircognizance is the one I'm looking for. When you just have a clear knowing, and you don't know how you know things, you just know them. That's what claircognizance is. It's also called clear knowing.
Sure.
It's a psychic power in which a person is able to know things without any previous knowledge on the subject. It is believed that this knowledge is bestowed upon the psychic by a spirit guide or by the higher self. This is what I have been experiencing my whole life. It's like you just know things and you don't know how you know them. And then when you go to and you use your, flesh, your cognitive thinking, and you look for, the confirmation in that in which you've been given, it's always right and exact. So these are some of the gifts that and abilities that we're born with that have been dumbed down by, the various modalities placed upon us by the so-called powers that be. This is the purpose for vaccinations in young children and things like that, to dumb down the senses. And then the ones who can get these messages, they want to hospitalize them. These wicked nurses and doctors are all a part of this mission and this secret society to diminish the population, and especially the Aborigine of America. And those who don't know or don't think that Aborigine is the first people, AB is always the first. It's also indicated in Latin. So you had various creations of people, of beings that came onto the planet. So if you say you original, if they say there's a group of beings that's original, then we are, those of us with a soul, are original. That means before the first, before the and origin. When you break down the word, it means the gene from Ari. We have to go back and correct the English language and take the O out. We have to go back through the whole English language when these people came out of the cave and changed and added words to take out the positive vibration, even in the English language. We know that the English language is, some may call it a bastard language, but we created this language. Those that own the lands of England, the Ings, ENG, those lands were named after them. Ing land. It's like saying Ing's land, just like Scott's land. Those were families. Those were the families who owned that land. That's a family who owns that land. And that's why it's named after them. They created the English language, English, English, so they could communicate with the beings that they were in communication with. They had to create a less complicated way of communicating, and that's where the English language comes from. So that these beings, who was their workforce, could communicate back and forth with them in a dialect that they could understand and not be so difficult. And it was against the law for them to have our knowledge. They were not privy to having the original dialect. Even if you go back and look at some of the texts in the Bible, it talks about the Adam and Eve story. Where they tell them, you shouldn't have done that. Now you know that you don't have on any clothes. They were never meant to have a higher knowledge of knowing. Their sole purpose was to be a workforce, laborers. That's all. So getting back to claircognizance, it's a clear knowing. And many of us have this, you just know. It's not like somebody and I've run into people over the years. Well, how do you know that? Who taught you that? How do you know? You can't explain it. You just know. So, and then you have clairaudience. That's the ability to hear. For me, that's the ability for me to hear my ancestors. Clairaudience is the ability to hear beyond the normal human perception. Okay. I don't know if I've ever experienced this one before. Clairgustance, supernatural ability to taste a substance without making contact. Clairsentience, the psychic ability to sense or feel something supernatural. Now, I have felt spirits. I can feel my hair raise on top of my head. You can feel the presence of them. Felt that before. Okay, clairvoyance. I get this all the time, especially when I'm in deep meditation. Lately, I've been in a lot of deep meditation, and the ancestors are showing me full view pictures like a movie of everything. But that comes with practice. That comes with doing that, meditation every day. You can tap into these powers. And see, that is what those that sought to oppress us wanted us not to be able to be still and connect with the source. Keep us moving from pillar to post. Keep you always under their thumb. Sending you bills, sending the police after you, every little thing to keep you unsettled and unstable. That is the part of their plan, especially for those of us who they know have these type of abilities. They never want us to be able to tap in so we can see them. Mediumship, that's channeling. You can channel spirits. I've not tried that. Precognition is the ability to predict the future and future events. Psychic channeling is another word for mediumship. Psychic empathy. I have this so heavy. I can feel and sense another person's emotions and energy. And I've always had this one real heavy. So now that I know and I recognize it, this is what I want to help you all do. These abilities actually exist. So now that you know about them, you can recognize it when it comes, when you experience it, you know what it is. That's a ability. That's a supernatural ability. And then once you identify it, you start practicing with it. Start to meditate with it. Psychometry, the type of psychic power where an individual can experience visions or emotions related to the place. Yeah, visions. I get those visions, but I think that's a part of clairvoyance, visions. Yeah, vision. Remote viewing is the ability to receive visions or impressions related to a distant object or place. ESP, extrasensory perception, retrocognition, also referred to as postcognition, is the ability to see into the past. Scrying is a type of psychic power that is related to many ways to divinations. Scrying is a technique in which a psychic looks into a appropriate medium to receive a message or a vision. A lot of people use water, crystal balls even. This is actually something that is done. You ever see the movies, the witch has a crystal ball? They can actually do that. There's one man that I met in West Africa who showed me how to do it with a mirror. You know, all of these things are can be perfected with practice. Telekinesis. This is the ability to move objects. Telepathy. Now, this is what we've been dealing with when I've been talking about this mind control stuff. Okay. This is a type of psychic power that allows mind to mind communication. There are varying degrees of telepathy, but in powerful cases, the psychic can communicate clear and complete thoughts in just a blink of an eye. That's transferring your thoughts to another person. This is what they've been doing a lot of lately. And it's very dangerous. See, have you ever wanted to plant a thought into someone's mind? Well, that's exactly what can happen with telepathy. And it's been sad cases that I've been privy to know about, that these people have actually done this and made people commit suicide. This is what this quasi government has been doing. This is what these spooks do. This is what these federal agents do. This is what their whole modus operandi is about. Messing with people's minds. It's just crazy what we are coming out of. But this is what they've been doing to our people for at least 80 years, according to my research. Now, let me share something else with y'all. There's people, there's groups that actually know about this, that actually do this. The silver mind control method. Now, this is the dangerous part about putting this kind of information out, because you got people that will use it for wicked. This man did not create it for being wicked, but the same techniques can be used if the person is wicked. This man created this for his children in the 1940s, and to help them with their school and their cognitive skills. And he ended up making his children's minds so strong to the point where they began to tap into those psychic abilities, ESP and all of that stuff that we were just looking at. So they have a whole academia about this. So don't think that these people who deal at a high level haven't studied these type of things and type of techniques. You know what I'm saying? But it's up to us now that we know to keep our protection up against this and to know when something is being done. You have to build up your strength. All of these things are spiritual. This whole world has been under manipulation for 100 years or more. A good 110 years we've been under manipulation by who? These 13 families. Now, this is an article I found that's hitting on the nail on the head. He's about the closest one to the information that I'm getting from the spirit realm. This guy right here. And he's talking about these 13 families who I keep talking about. This, and he is talking the same language. He says here, there is a worldwide conspiracy being orchestrated by an extremely powerful and influential group of genetically related individuals, at least at the highest echelons. And that's true. They all cousins. These are the ones that I've been battling with, who I found out that I'm among that family line. But guess what? They are fakes. And I'm a real one. I learned that also. When I say fakes, I'm saying that the ones sitting in the power positions under the names that they're using are not their valid names. They're among that family line, but not their third, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth cousins down the line, like that, who stole those seats of power, who are not supposed to be in those seats of power. This is what I have come to know. So anyway, he goes on to say, those at the higher echelons are genetically related individuals, which include many of the world's wealthiest people, top political leaders, and corporate elite, as well as members of the so-called Black nobility. Confirmation, what I've gotten. And when I get something, I know that is absolute, and I know how to check. Like I said, there's systems of divination that have been in place for us since the beginning of time to be able to check when you're getting something. When you get something into your spiritual realm, into your mind, into your spirit, there's ways to check and make sure that nobody is manipulating what you're getting. That's how serious it is. For me, at least, that's what I have to do, because I've experienced all of these things and with myself and in my family recently. So I know what these people are capable of, especially when they have made you a target like they have me. So they keep me on my ones and twos. This is how I've developed to the level that I'm at, because I have to protect myself. I have to be up to the task. And I realize now that it has been a silent war, and it has actually been a physical war recently. That's how serious they are. Okay. The shadow forces behind the New World Order are following a slow-paced agenda of total control over mankind and our planet's resources. Now, y'all heard me talk about the Council of Nine. He's saying these elitist organizations, they have a Council of 13 also. They have a Council of 7. Let me see. Let me get to it. So these 13 families orchestrate all the major world events. There's nothing that goes through there's nothing that happens that does not go through their hands and gets their approval. And 6 of these 13 families run the media from top to bottom. There's nothing that we experience that they do not approve to get put out. That's how much control has been happening over us. And this is the dangerous part of it, is because if they can show us whatever they want to show us, put in the books, in the schooling, and in our educational programs, what they want us to see, hear, and know. We don't know what is true and what is real, because when you are a child in your adolescent stage, that's when everything sticks like a sponge in your mind. And if you get that information early, it's hard to break from it. And they know that. They know that part of programming. So they have put these things, this certain so-called history in our schooling at an early age, especially in America. They have did a number on us to hide the truth. And just like I've been saying, all of these families behind all of these men sitting at this table, behind all these pale faces sitting at this table, is a black nobility handler. And this is just further confirmation to what I already know. He says that they believe they are entitled to rule over the rest of us because they are the direct descendants of the ancient gods and consider themselves royal. They believe it is their divine right to rule over us. Now, this is the truth, but it's not the wicked's divine right. These ones that have been ruling and using this divine right to rule over land and over people, they are not the ones they're supposed to be. They're not supposed to be. Okay. That's why everything is messed up. They have been, this is a known in the world and in the governance of the world. Everyone, every major ruling power knows this. There's a certain set of families that are the rulers. That's the imperial families that I've been talking about. This is why it was so easy for me when I became aware of my bloodline to go and shut down the courthouse and move in the capacity that I've been moving in. Although I was already moving in these ways before I knew exactly the bloodline I was from. This is the scary part for them. I'm doing all of this. I'm making these moves, and these entities, these individuals was coming at me like never before. because I'm moving as my bloodline dictated and who they have known me to be from day one, and who they have secretly stalked and came against me and my family from day one. Now here I am moving in the capacity of a ruler, not even knowing my DNA was taken over. That's how powerful the DNA is. That's how powerful the spirit realm is. I'm being divinely led the whole time, not even knowing, not even knowing what I'm doing really. I'm just moving, following these voices, following what I know my ancestors are telling me to do. But these are all Black nobility, so-called Black nobility families. These are the families who took over and killed off most of the true and valid families. And when they came in and took over, they changed the whole dynamic and turned the world upside down in so many ways. I'm not going to get into it. One of them is the language. I'm not going to get into the full scope of it right now, but one of them is through the language, even the English language. The English language. They took the A out of ma and put the O. Everywhere that it's a power word, they took out the the vowel and they put a O. The O, I'm gonna just give y'all a little secret that the ancestors gave me. Now I've been telling y'all the O, the U, and the J did not exist until the year 1909 when they put it in there and they started rewriting the Bible and rewriting our legacy and lineage and turned it into his story. So the A, when you say the A, it invokes your root chakra. That's where the power is. Ah, the A. When you say the A and ma, okay? They didn't change it in father, F-A. Those two words right there means father, F-A. You can just have F-A, F-A. You don't even have to put the T-H-E-R. F-A, you see F-A in languages, you know that's father. Here we are saying M-O. That's not proper. It's M-A. And they know the power of the mother and they change the whole dynamic of our matriarchal system to take the power away from us so that we can't make homage to the proper and invocate in the proper way to invoke that power. Yet you'll see them praying to the Black Madonna and probably saying some prayers and using the proper names and things like that because they gave us all the wrong names to pray to because there's no power invoked in that. So just on knowing the timeline of events on GP, Jesus did not exist until they put that name in there. Jacob did not exist until they put that name in there. You have the J and you have the O that did not exist. You have the J and you have the U that did not exist. And it invokes no power. The power is in the words. As we know, spelling is in the literature. All of these words and the things that we read and say are spells that we're casting. So if we don't cast a proper if we don't invocate and cast out the proper energy, is no power behind that. O is in the middle of the alphabet. It's no power in that. Everything that starts from the beginning starts with an A. I'm going to leave it there. Okay. So here it is. The upper levels of the Illuminati pyramid include secretive committees with names such as the Council of Three, the Council of Five, the Council of Seven, the Council of Nine, Council of 13, and Council of 33. The Grand Jewett Council, the Committee of 300. I've spoken about them, and I've spoken about the Council of Nine. These other ones are new to me. Okay, and now it's saying they have a Committee of 500. This man has done his research. Committee of 500. Now, over the past several years, I know for a fact spiritually I've taken many of these out because they was coming for me every day, and it's been ongoing still. And the way I know, because these sorcerers, they leave their hair. They have to leave something of their essence around you for their spirits to come. So they was putting all type of hairs in my car, all different nationality type of hairs in my car every day. I would take them, tell the ancestors, remove them from my path. These are my enemies, and take them to my altar at the park and burn them. Next thing I know, I stopped seeing a lot of pale faces following me. They didn't start following me no more. Then I started seeing the Asiatics following me. Then I started seeing Asiatic hair everywhere. These people right here are the front people for the black nobility. They send them out first. Now I'm down to the actual elites. Now I'm down to the actual ones giving the orders. They have to come and see me now. Because my ancestors got me all the way Trump tight with my spiritual protection. And now they have to come out. These families are coming out. So we're just about done with them. And we are peaceful in the land of the living. My ancestors don't play. They got me all the way right. And this is their doomsday. That's all I can say. This is their doomsday. They have taught me so much about protection, so many ways to protect myself, and they have never left me, or they told us they will never leave us or forsake us. Y'all have to know that. You have to dig deep. You have to dig deep. In those trying times, you have to dig deep and find the answers and overcome all obstacles. Let me see, can I get this picture bigger? Let's see. So, and it's giving you the corporations. I know Pfizer is in there. It's hard to see. I got another slide that I'm gonna put up here so y'all can see as well. But this is who's been suppressing us. This is who's been suppressing their own kind. This is the craziest part about it. Now, all of these family lines they have up here are the front people for these black nobility families. The Astor bloodline, Bundy bloodline, as in Ted Bundy, Collins family, as in the U.S. military, DuPont, that's the food guy. The Freeman bloodline, that's in Morgan Freeman bloodline. Kennedy bloodline, the Kennedy family. Lee bloodline, Onassis bloodline, Reynolds, Rockefeller, Rothschild, Russell. Van Dwayne bloodline. These are all front people. I'm putting the top families that's running them in the book Sorcery Wars, The Fall of Empires. I'll share with you all exactly who's running them. The Rothschilds is not at the top. The Rockefellers is not at the top. These are all of the ones that have been put out to the people. JP Morgan is not at the top, like people think. They're all front. They're front people. That were purposely put out for the viewing and the misconception of the people. Okay. And this right here is how they think. They care not what puppet is in the seat of power. As long as they control the economy, as long as they control the manufacturing, as long as they control the people. Okay, here's one right here. Pfizer. Yep. The religions. Yep. See, they were sending these priests. They were sending these priests after me. All of them is a part of that. They sent them priests out. They've sent those in the higher upper echelon of entertainment after me, because they all are under their orders. So when these higher ups in this order give them the go ahead to do something and they're in that order, they have to go and do it. It don't matter how much money they got. I care not what puppet is placed on the throne of England to rule the empire. The man who controls Britain's money supply controls the British Empire, and I control the British money supply. Nathan Mayer Rothschild. And I promise you, he's dark as night. Or the one behind him that put out that phrase is dark as night. So this guy put out a good article also. He says, apparently the 13 families control everything from politics to terrorism. And I know that to be true. Even domestic terrorism. All of these domestic terrorist mass shootings, they are behind it. There's nothing moving on the land without their approval. So they have to be behind it. Other than that, they wouldn't allow it to happen. They run the fraternal orders. They run the military. So why is it that nobody can find out who is doing these mass shootings? Because they are the ones behind the mass shootings. It's simple. He says this is about the fascinating conspiracy theory that claims these most powerful families in the world own 99% of the wealth in the world, leaving 1% for the rest of us to fight over. These are families that have a hold in almost every sphere of life, be it politics, business, or entertainment. The 13 bloodlines are said to have connections to wealth and power that are simply unimaginable. These families span from Europe to China. The leading researcher behind the Illuminati families is a man named Fritz Springmeier, an author and educator, and he has presented some of the most compelling details about the Illuminati bloodlines. Central banks are right in the middle. This committee of 300, the Council of 13 is the Council of the 13 families, no doubt. Think tanks. Yeah, they trying to figure out ways how to get us every day. They have think tanks. Central banks, tax revenue, interest revenue, World Bank, Bank of International Settlements. Yeah, they controlling everything. The oil, the gas, the pharmaceuticals, the car companies, the manufacturers, the corporations, the big corporations, schools, courts. Y'all see this? Prisons, police, and military. I know, I deal with them every day. See, this is what the ancestors wanted me to see. These are the families that's controlling the courts, but they weren't in their proper place. So I was able to step in and invoke my powers because I'm in the proper place of this same bloodline, but my bloodline is the proper one in a ruling seat. Their bloodline is not in a proper ruling seat. This is why they've been trying to get after me. This is why they find it imperative to get rid of me. This is the other thing that I learned about myself, my bloodline, and what my family never knew. They are not in the proper place. They are fraudulent. So those that are high up in the world, in the national law arena, Pentagon, Department of Defense, they know my bloodline. They know who I am. So it's like I've been fighting with my own family members, but they are not proper. They have been ruling, but they are not, they are fraudulent. They're saying they're one name, but they're not of that bloodline. They're down the line. They're another family line. I hope y'all following me. So all of these families that's been ruling are the ones who stole these seats and ran over the empire to get these seats of power. This is the dilemma the world is in right now. And this is why they put up all of the pale counterparts to do their bidding for them. So they don't ever have to be seen and nobody ever have to know they running anything. Because then people gonna ask questions. That opens up a whole can of worms to the public eye. So this guy is saying the people under their orders don't even know who their leaders are. And I know that to be true because they stayed in hide in in the background. And they claim that they started this new world order to bring balance, formed by America and Europe's most elite. America's and Europe's most elite. And they still here today. All of those families that is on those cereal boxes, they ain't who y'all think they are. This powerhouse formed by 13 families is known to be controlling practically everything around the globe, from political parties around the world, courthouses, educational institutions, natural resources, foreign policies, food, national economies, media houses, even terrorist organizations. They did their research. This is a good article here. They are the one, they might have had gotten one of my royal degrees because they hitting it right on the head. They are the ones who decide where and when the next terror attack is going to happen. They decide when the markets will fall. They decide when a new government needs to take over. They decide what happens in the UN. Yep, they decide practically everything. And this is the truth. The US and UK governments' relentless backing for the global spread of genetically modified seeds was, in fact, the implementation of decades-long policy of the Rockefeller Foundation since the 1930s, when it funded Nazi eugenics research, mass-scale population reduction, the control of darker-skinned races by an Anglo-Saxon white elite. As some of these circles saw it, war as a means of population reduction was costly and not that efficient. Now, it's a doggone shame. The black nobility families are the ones orchestrating and instituting all of this madness against the darker skinned races because they want to have control over the population. It's been about 110 years, not 250 years. The world as we know it has always been ruled by the ones with absolute power, those who knew how to control wealth and resources. And they knew that because they stole the information from the ruling family and they killed them off. By those who knew how to control their people by hook or by crook. The New World Order aims to work on a similar philosophy of absolute power and control, but on a global scale. The plan is to secretly have a single body governing the planet, with the elite sitting right on the top of the food chain, leaving the rest of the world to fight for the 1% of the global economy. He says, apparently, they want the global population to be just under 1 billion, leaving the Earth's resources for their own exclusive use. And to keep the population in check, they are willing to go to the extent, even plan scientifically engineered global population control methods like viruses, vaccines, and diseases, and genetically modified food. It is also said that these families even hold the cure for terminal diseases like cancer and AIDS, but don't want to release it to the public. So this is what we still dealing with. This energy right here I take that back. We're coming out of this energy right here. This dominant world control and destruction of people and resources. Look at what this man said. This was this is the sentiment of this family, these families. Some even believe, this is what David Rockefeller said, some even believe we are part of a secret cabal working against the best interest of the United States, characterizing my family and me as internationalists and of conspiring with others around the world to build a more integrated global political and economic structure, one world, if you will. If that's the charge, I stand guilty and I am proud of it. David Rockefeller. And what year did he say that? I don't see a year. But these are definitely not the bloodlines. This is just who they want you to see. These people right here are puppets. And there's an article, a paragraph where one of them said that too. He said, I don't care what puppet runs the government. So you see, this is what we really have been dealing with. Behind the scenes, families who are running everything and controlling our every move and controlling how we see and perceive things. This is a problem. This is a real problem, and especially when they're not giving us the truth. They've they've been hiding the truth. They have concealed the truth, and they continue to do so. And they continue to aim to bring the people of the land harm. So this is an element that needs to be eradicated and terminated off the face of the earth, wherever they may be. We can no longer live under these conditions. Ashe. Peace and love, matriarch. You there? Hopefully I ain't putting you to sleep.
Greetings. No, that is not the case. I just took a long time to get to this point, but I'm here.
Yes, ma'am. Good to see you. Good to see you here.
I am thoroughly enjoying a letter.
You said a letter?
Yeah, you're reading a letter.
Oh, commentary. It's commentary regarding the 13 families who've been ruling the world and who has been the latest subject of our conversations lately. And I found some articles that have supported what I've been getting in the spirit realm. So it's definitely a confirmation, and a couple of these guys have done a lot of good research and have given us some more names to put in the fire.
Great.
We're gonna get rid of these wicked. The wicked shall have no glory.
No. They going out the way they came. As
By fire and by force.
And by fire and by force. And I can see their face.
They going, that's for sure. Hang on one second, family. Y'all can read this real quick. Hold on one second. So what's happening in the current events? Matriarch, anything? You all can have open dialogue.
Um, the wind, the weather. I went out today. It was whipping so hard. And I was like, wow, something is going on.
You told them to turn off their weather machine?
No, it took out all them people's electricity around the states.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was whipping over here too. I asked the ancestors to shut down all those false winds and rains and clouds over my head. And whoever's manipulating the weather, you know the rest.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I was amazed that the wind could whip so hard. And then when I looked on the website and I saw that somebody had commented on it and put a map up of what is actually going on, I was like, yeah, this is weather manipulation. It's got to be.
Well, they always create a diversion for what they're really trying to do. They're
So
trying to pull something. If it's fake weather, which it probably is, they trying to pull a fast one. Now that's the trick to find out what it is they're actually trying to do.
right. So the left hand can't see what the right hand is doing.
Yeah, they probably trying to steal some money or something, or move some money through one of these utility companies. Find a way to do something. That's what they do. It's what they do.
But you're not supposed to know that.
Like they created that whole fake storm in Texas so they could charge them people $800 for their bills. Remember? This past year. Yeah, people had never had snow in Texas before, and they gonna run their bills up to $1,000 all of a sudden and put them people in debt.
So Prophet Noble Drew Ali said that in the year 2000, Moors was going to come into their own. He said the wheels of industry is going to come to a screeching halt. And when it starts up again, it's going to be in the Asiatics' favor. So these people are going down. We got to get to that point where we got to run this government, run this nation, run these tribes, run this empire. We got to get back to where we need to be.
Absolutely. We getting there too.
And all of them treasonous, scoundrels, scoundrels are going down.
Treacherous traitors.
They're going down, and their families are going with them. There is no way out. And no, you can't go to another planet,
Ashe. I
try to
second.
go to the outer planet, outer planes, the lands around the pole. No, you can't go there either, because the people that's there don't want you.
Ashe. I second that motion. So what y'all think about Elon Musk? How he rise to power? What y'all think is the power behind him? He just bought out Twitter, didn't he?
He said he wanted to, but I don't know if it went through. A lot of people were complaining that they didn't want him to have it. But he said if he bought out Twitter, he gonna buy out Coca-Cola, and he gonna put cocaine back in the Coca-Cola soda.
Was that a true statement or something false somebody put out to
I
try to make him look bad or something? You know, these people control the media. They'll put anything out there.
They can say anything they want. He can do whatever he wants because they can't touch his money.
But I was just wondering who's behind him, because you got to have some powerful force behind you going up against these 13 families. And he's held his ground for years. And I'm pretty sure they've been after him and they ain't been able to get him.
He probably thinks he's really untouchable, that nobody is more powerful than he is.
Because he probably is. I mean, he's not more powerful than me. He's not
Right.
more powerful than us, the Aborigine.
Right.
But he definitely got some power behind him. There ain't no doubt about that. I'm just wondering who it is. I believe he's a part of a tribe, one of those Siberian tribes.
Okay.
If I had to guess, the ancestors brought that to me. He's part of a tribe.
I've read some.
Peace and love, my nighttime warriors. Ancient Moor. Tesla money. The ancient Moor says Tesla money. But how did he get it? Behold, the pale horse spoke on this. You know, one of my mentors talked about that book a lot, but I have never sat down and read that book. I just have the cognizant ability to know what's in the book. Peace and love, Ancient Moor. Peace and love, Chaz Bay. That's my warrior rider right there. Peace and love, Shadow Band. Scrying Mirror. Okay, you be messing with that mirror magic, huh? Shadow Band. Okay. Okay then. I ain't mad at y'all at all. Trying to tell you that ancestral magic has saved my natural life. It just lets me know the power from whom I came. Ashe.
The power.
The power forces, the real power. We are the real superheroes. Y'all know that? There ain't no doubt about it. When I see where the ancestors had brought me from and have protected me from, shoot, ain't no doubt about it. We the real superheroes. We from the real superhero line. No question.
Prophet Noble Drew Ali also said that our brothers in the East is waiting for us.
Hmm. Where's that?
And he said that long time ago.
Where's
So,
the brothers in the East?
huh?
Here?
They're all around the world. I
Hmm.
would think. Because
Okay.
we got the power here.
And it's been here. It's
And
been
now we
here the whole time.
know it.
Wow. It's crazy though. I just wish I had been prepared a little bit. Our family lines, our family, we lost a lot of knowledge, a lot of heritage. I mean, it's just, we just got to work hard to get it all back and get everybody back in their proper place, back in the proper status that we should be in. No way we should be living like this, under constant attack on our own land. We've been at war, been occupied, and they tell us with this red, white, and blue flag that we under occupation. They don't hide it.
That's a banner.
The banner, I mean, that war banner.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. They do not hide it.
They don't want to give up their cushions.
These families have been oligarchs, full of greed, and they was raised and bred that way. And the only thing we can do is ask the ancestors to get rid of them. That's the only way we gonna have a better day on this planet. Long as they here, none of us will be free. Because they got think tanks that work day and night figuring out how they can get us next.
They can't think for the ancestors. So they look
Right.
tanks is a pea brain, like a dinosaur, pea brain.
Mm-hmm. Gotta keep them under the fire. See, we gotta join in unison in the spirit realm. That's how we change things. That's how you change matter. You have to move in that energy. Everybody has to move in that energy and break these spells and curses off of us, wanting to be the one on top, wanting to be the one, want to keep your fellow brother down because you want to be the one to say, I did it. That is a spell. That is a curse that's been put over us. And we can no longer afford to act in that capacity. Crabs in the bucket has never been us. We have more than enough. We own everything. There's no reason to want more than the next one. What's for you is for you. What God got for you is yours already. This mentality is what we have to break. And these spells and these curses that I now know for sure that they have put over me, my family, and the entire populations of the world, and mind controlling us and everything else. This is what a nation is about. Raising a nation is about getting our knowledge back, getting our power back to be able to change things. And we can only do that in the spirit realm. It ain't no other way around it. That's how they took down the empire in the first place. It wasn't by physical force. They first came with the sorcery and the witchcraft, which I'll be talking about it in the book. But that's how humanity fell. We struggle not with flesh and bone, but by spiritual principalities. That was written because that was actually happening, to let us know where we have to deal at. That's where we have that's the level we have to deal on to invoke the real power. Then you come with the force. But my ancestors show me every day that spiritual force is nothing that they can reckon with. If you know the right set of knowledge, you can push back an army. I know that. And the only way to get that right set of knowledge that's specifically for you is connect with your ancestors and get that clairvoyance going. Like I was just reading. I don't know if y'all saw that. I'm gonna share it again. These are the spiritual and cognitive abilities that we have yet to tap into, that they are using against us. You have gamut of abilities that most of us haven't even tapped into yet. I hear a lot of brothers and sisters talk about astral travel though. Now I never seen this before until I saw this article. Automatic writing. Now I've experienced this. All that writing that y'all see, that's what was happening. Automatic writing. All that literature on that website, aborigineofamerica.com, aborigineofamexim.com, Empress in America.com, and all the other websites and books and things that I've written. It's like I'm on autopilot. And that's what it's saying here. These are the ultimate guide to psychic powers and abilities. This is an article from the website Psychic Gurus. And it's saying automatic writing is a psychic ability that requires one to channel spirits in order to write messages from the beyond. This type of psychic power does not involve the conscious mind, but rather requires the individual to be in a trance-like state with their hands moving unconsciously across the page to convey supernatural messages. And that's what be happening. That's for sure. What was that?
My notification.
Oh wow. So that is automatic writing. Then you have clairaudience. The ability to hear beyond the normal human perception. This is where you get real quiet and you can hear the voices telling you, now this I've just started experiencing in the last year. I'm hearing them say full sentences, like talking to me. Full sentences. But it's only when I ask. See, you gotta, and it takes a lot of meditation and a lot of practice, or just ritualistically getting into that quiet place. I mean, I can hear their voices, like the voice that they had while they were here, all tones and different tenors and everything. It's amazing. And they be getting on me, chastising me, all kind of stuff. I said, wow, y'all really here. That's that energy. That's that soul plane that we come from that never dies. We came from pure consciousness in balls of light. That's where they get this Illuminati from. And and as I was saying earlier, the ancestors showed me that Ray L is how royal was supposed to be spelled. There was no O in royal because remember the O and the U and the J did not exist. And so and they brought it to me. They said RAY. Everything is named after the essence. That's the rays of the sun. It's supposed to be RAYAL. And they said AL means a last. And a last means the last of the gods, so to speak, like the last of them. So we are of them, but we came last. But we are the Raels of this land of Mu, and we were given this land of Mu. Just like Imperial, AL is at the end. That's the last of that first line. That's the last of Imperial means first line, first bloodline. But anytime you see the AL, it means a last. So when we say that, when they wrote that or when they gave us that word, that means that we are the last of them. But that Ray, there was no O in the English language. So, and they showed it to me. It's RAY, the ray of the sun. That's who we are. It's supposed to be RAYAL. This is what I'm saying. When you say these words, they don't invoke power anymore. Because when you say that like ma, you have to cringe or squeeze in your root chakra when you say the letter A. And all of the most powerful words, they put a letter O to take out the power of the root chakra and your solar plexus. That's a word, breath of life. So these things were strategically done that now that we know that we have been stricken from our powers in so many ways, we have to work to get them back and not be lazy and know that we can get them back. That's the first part of everything is knowing. It ain't no belief. You have to know that this is available to you and you have the power that can be invoked. You have the power of your ancestors to invoke everything they did and said while they was here on this earthly plane. And right now is the time that we are getting everything back. So you have to go before them. You have to ask. You have to plead before them to give you vision, give you clarity in this time. Each one of us is here on a mission, and we spent half our lifetime trying to figure out what it is and why are we actually here. But once we know and tap into some of these abilities that we were born with, then it becomes easier to rule as a god, as a goddess. GAD. God. They didn't change all our words, all our powerful words. Put an O in the middle of it. Claircognizance, clear knowing. It's when you know something and nobody had to teach you or tell it to you. You just know it. Clairgustance, when you can taste something and not be anywhere near it. Clairsentience is when you can feel the presence of supernatural beings and spirits, energies. Clairvoyance, ability to see things beyond the physical sphere. I know for me, I have visions that'll just flash across my mind, and the ancestors are showing me something. Just like they showed me during this time of this warfare. For the last few months, I've been in every person that betrayed me and this tribe. And they showed me the whole event, what they did, what organization they was a part of, and each one of them was either a former military, a Mason, or a part of some secret society, which most professional people are, especially doctors and nurses and bar card holders, of course. But there's a lot of families, unbeknownst to me, that were friends amongst my families for years, but have been secretly doing things against us. And it's just crazy that, we've been there. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm sure my family's not the only one. But these particular families are part of a network. Under the boule. So the higher ups give them names of the family. They watching everything because they at the top, they at the Pentagon or whatnot, controlling all of these different power sources. So they know that girl you going to school with, they tell whoever it is in that area, and they tell their child, that one you need to put under a black candle. That's how they've been doing it to us all our lives. You don't even know it. You being suppressed. It feel like you being held back from something. Feel like somebody's blocking you here, blocking you there. And if they doing this in large numbers, it can take effect on you. This is why we have to do what we're doing now, clearing the path for all of us. You have to clear your path. There's just no way around it because we've been under so much fog of manipulation over the years that it takes a minute to get from under that. And we definitely have to get back our spiritual powers. I like what they said about divination here. The noble art of divination is the practice of gathering evidence from the spiritual world to interpret the physical world. And this is what we do with the International Royal High Courts of the land. Brought back this principle. As I was stating earlier, there are various modalities and divination systems to get to the truth. It's not a mystery. The veil has been lifted, and we have been under so much deception that it seems taboo to some people to use divination to find out the truth. People still want to hide. They still want to be deceptive. They still want to be devious. They don't want you. And even people close to us. It's hard for them to receive the truth. I'm way past that. Once I see the truth, I'm out and I'm going off. You don't see a whole nother person. I'm going all the way off. I'm blasting you. So don't come around me being no fraud. I ain't with that. Mediumship, the psychic ability to relay messages from the spiritual world.
Oh,
Precognition, psychic channeling, psychic empathy. This is why I have to be to myself a lot also because of this psychic empathy. And I pick up some energy of others so heavy. Sometimes it's like draining. You can feel that you can sense another's emotions. Can sense what they're feeling. Psychometry. You can experience visions and emotions related to a place or an object just by touching it. Remote viewing is the ability to receive visions and impressions related to a distant object or place. This is also called extrasensory perception, ESP. Retrocognition, scrying, telekinesis, telepathy.
there it is.
What?
Telepathy.
Mm-hmm.
Need these cell phones.
Yeah, this is what we do. This is what we've been doing. This is how the prophet Noble Drew Ali was able to come from America and go all the way across the world, and that the noble was right there waiting for him to help him off the boat. They didn't have no telephones. Well, they probably did, but they didn't use it because this is what we do. Relay messages through the mind, but these techniques are being abused. This is why you have to safeguard your mind and your spiritual aura.
Okay.
You have to safeguard yourself. You see what it says? Have you ever wanted to plant a thought in someone's mind? Well, that's exactly what can happen with telepathy. It's a type of psychic power that allows mind-to-mind communication. There are varying degrees of telepathy, but in powerful cases, the psychic can communicate clear and complete thoughts in just a blink of an eye. In addition, telepathy isn't only limited to human interactions. Animal telepathy is also a popular sect of psychic practice, and I know this to be true also. These people keep sending this cat around here. They send animals, they do this with animals also. But these government agents are into this. So you have to be careful that, you have to find a way to make sure that what you're getting in your mind, because we get stuff, those of us that are receivers and receptors from the spiritual realm, on a regular basis, we get things, and these messages. We're used to it just coming from the spirit. But if you're dealing with somebody that has targeted you and they try to send you messages and stuff, it's hard to decipher sometimes. That's why you have to have more than one form of divination to check and double check. There are systems in place, ancient systems in place. That's what I love about Ifa. That's an ancient system that has always shown me the truth. It cannot lie. So these are some of the abilities that we should start practicing and getting back, because we who have a soul, and from that soul plane that came from the light, beacons of light, we have these abilities already. But you have to remove all the distractions, tune into that frequency, and you can tap into these powers. Get rid of that cell phone for a while. Stop looking into that. Tell lies to your vision, as Matriarch says. Just deal with getting on that frequency with, for me, is my ancestors. All of this is easily attainable. You have it in you already. It definitely takes practice though. Astral projection. I'll try that next. Yeah, you have to work at, we have to work at getting these things back. They are definitely available to us. And this is where your clarity comes from. Those that want to deceive you, those that want to keep the wool over the eyes of the people, definitely don't want you tapping into your God-given abilities. That's not what they want. That's where they, come in with all the vaccines and medicines and all these different things. Well, that's what I wanted to touch on. These 13 families. Those were some two good articles that that touched on some real good stuff. Here's another one. Yeah, these are some of the names. This is another person that done some good research. Yep.
Empress, I would like to say, as far as the weather, nature, water has been stricken, of course, in the northwestern parts of the land, Montana area, and it's washing away roads and in the areas of like Yellowstone, that nature in Montana area, Montana territory, those foothills, those mountains.
Turn your phone
Washing
up.
away.
So
and
it's
driving.
muffled. You're muffled a little bit. No.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's a little better.
All right. I was stating that Mother Nature's taking course in the Montana territory. As far as Yellowstone goes, water and mud and a lot of earths and landslides, water slides, washing away the roads and homes of that area that's occupying that land, that part of the land, getting rid of a lot of those people that don't belong there. So that's a current climate weather event that's going on as of right now
And where's that at again?
in the Montana, Wyoming territories and foothills, those mountains. Yellowstone National Park, geographic.
Wow, Mother Nature does not play.
I said,
And that's what happens all the time. But we have to initiate that. Everything starts the ball rolling with when we take action. Then the forces of nature and the ancestors start to move in action. But they can't move in action until we move in action. It's like a dual relationship. We're the governors of this plane. And the sooner we realize that and start walking and acting in it, the more we'll see our powers. They are in the spirit realm. They have powers, but they have to, it's like we have to have permission to go into the spirit realm, and they have to have permission to come and help us. That's the order of respect. That's law. Because we're here, we're governing this plane, this earthly plane. So that's why we have to take care of it. We have to make sure things are, in its proper order. And those who know and don't do it will be punished. You're measured by the yardstick of your knowledge. When you know better, you must do better. That's why they say fools and crazy people, God look out for. They don't let nothing happen to them. But when you know better and you still not living up to your part, that's when, nothing seems to go your way. We have been dumbed down to be lazy to a certain degree. People that come to my house, they be like, you stay moving, you stay doing something. Because the ancestors giving me, inspiration to go do this, go do that. You need to be doing your fire. You need to be, it's like work. It's work. It's work that we're supposed to be doing, but we've been trained to only do work when we go to somebody else's job to do their work. No, for me, I have to do my ancestors' work, or they will get on me. This is the work for all of humanity that have to be done. Clearing the path for all of us. So what we have to do, family? Make that a part of your daily. clearing the path for all of it. If you can you imagine if everybody did that, a large number of us did that, how much better off we would be. Those of us who know the power of the spirit realm with us as a co-author in that, all of us got on that same page, this world would be in shape in no time. For real. A lot of power when you align. When you align with the power source, when you put your power and join hands, that's when you see the real moves being made. Medici. Yep. Windsor. Yeah, this is not the complete list. This person that put this list out said, personally, I suspect that this is not the complete list, and some very powerful lineages are still unknown to us. Yeah, I will say that's correct. Yeah, they have taken over the banking. Yeah. They exercise their power through the world banking empire, which is almost entirely owned by them. The most important institutions that work hard to establish the New World Order and completely enslave our species are the City of London, finance controlled by the Rothschilds, Federal Reserve banks, the Vatican City, Washington, D.C. Look, military, mind programming, brainwashing, and depopulation. Coming right out of Washington, D.C. I know it. This is what I've been teaching on. The city of the Vatican City, indoctrination, deception, and scare tactics. U.S. Federal Reserve, private bank owned by the Rothschilds. There's 13 families involved in that. The multitude of secret societies in existence today operate as branches of a mega corporation, which is owned by the council of the 13 families. And with that, family, that pretty much sums it up. Open dialogue, anyone? Or y'all night owls ready to go to sleep? Super night owls. Who said that? Dream.
I say.
There we go.
I'm moon gazing right now. Like my crystals charge up. Okay.
Food. Yeah. It's right here.
Yep, so this is real interesting. It's all coming out. There's no more conspiracy theories now. They putting the proof with the pudding. And they can't get out of it. They cannot get out of it.
Oh,
See knowledge in abundance said no, keep going. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, going on 5. Ain't it going on 5? Yeah. 444. What you go ahead, matriarch. I yield. Or you were saying? Or were you about to say something?
oh, it's finally unmuted. I've been wearing this thing. I wanted to say that during World War One, Prophet Noble Drew Ali went out on the battlefield, and these fools was warring, and he pulled back the clouds, and there were ironclad soldiers, terracotta soldiers, all kind of soldiers on horseback with their arms ready to attack. It scared them pale faces so bad that they ended that war soon after what they saw that. So they saw that little man had so much power that he could do that, that they wanted to silence him and his movement because they didn't understand. They thought they had everything in their favor, but they didn't, and they don't today because our ancestors don't play.
I call on them all the time. Terracotta warriors, come forward.
He pulled back the clouds.
Yep, it's very, very possible.
So
Indeed.
much spirituality is in our grasp that we have to be our own students. And when the teacher is ready, when the student is ready, the teacher will take over. But you gotta put it in you. I mean, that telepathy, I want to use that because I don't like using these cell phones, having somebody to write down or record everything that we say. So they think they gotta jump on us. No, when our ancestors took them pale faces from Heru, which is Peru, through the hollow earth and came out in Stonehenge, they had communicated with the people in that land, which is the land where the sun don't shine all the time. It's always cloudy over there in Great Britain, London, England, and United Kingdom. They communicated that they was coming, they was bringing these people, so y'all need to move because the sun is cooking them. Triple digits is cooking them. They can't live down here. So that's the most conducive place for them to be. So that's what they did. That was telepathy. When the Moors was the corsairs on the water, they communicated with telepathy. Everything was known. We still are the same people. We have been dummied down, but we won't stop. We need to get back on the footing of our ancestors because our ancestors are us today. We are the same bloodline.
Ashe. You have to wake up and remember who we are.
Yes, we may look young, but we are ancient. We are ancient. Come again. And that spirit sat by the creator, the creators, and watched everything come into existence. We saw everything. Then we came. So we got the knowledge already in our brain, in our spirit. We are spirit man. Man is mind and a part of the creators. We are the same beings. We just have to take time to read, research, and record. You know, we got to drop the hijack because they're going to always try to trick us up with 1 or 2 letters, words. You know how they do. We have to use our powers to recognize what is. And if that don't work, take our pendulum. We got the power. It's a beautiful day when you know who you are. And we are the same people, just come again. But we got to wake up. I mean, it seems like a monumental job. But if we don't get it right, the creators could just destroy all of this and create a new people.
So can. In the blink of
So
an eye.
it's up to us. This is worth doing for us and our posterity. Next 7 generations, we may come again. But when we do come, we want to see that the work that we put in today has been implemented.
Well, I keep hearing over and over again, I ain't coming, I'm not coming back. I haven't been here and I haven't been, I don't even want to tell y'all who the ancestor told me I was in past lives. A fighter for people, freeing people, liberating people. Well, they said I'm not coming back this time. So I gotta get it right. I'm gonna be floating in the astral plane, governing planets. That's what I'm gonna be doing. With all of my children calling on me for help. I'm gonna be in the astral plane helping. I'm sorry, go ahead, make sure.
I was going to say Serpentarius is waiting on you. But there are other where we can go as well. But these pale faces, they need to go because they are trying, since 1959, they signed this pact where they want to keep everybody out from going in beyond the ice wall. Well, at one time, there wasn't an ice wall. So what happened? Treaties get disrespected and the ice wall just showed up. I don't know how that went because I wasn't there or I don't recall. But now the Albions are thinking they can just go down there and just take over other people's land. But these people, I know they're putting up a fight. That's why Admiral Byrd, when he went down there and carried 3,000, I don't know how many soldiers he carried right now, but I know he only came back with 300. Something happened. Somebody put their foot down, buried it deep.
Ancestral magic got a hold of them.
They had no business being over there. So now they want to go and rape and pillage and plunder and do all the things they did. Oh, they got gas, they got minerals. We can just steal them and keep them amongst ourselves. These 12 countries. Yeah, all that needs to go. All that needs to go. We need peace and harmony. We need to be back to where it was before they showed their faces here. We don't need no slave race. The pale faces, we don't need them. We don't need them. We need our people to wake up and understand that we are the original, autonomous, indigenous inhabitants of this whole plane. Burnt faces, they call us. We're everywhere. And they're trying to take us and make us what they want us to be. No,
Nope,
it
it
doesn't
won't
work
happen.
like that. It doesn't work like that. We are the original. Come again. And now it's time for us to wake up. In Baltimore, they're having the AFRAM festival this weekend, and they're also having the Gay Pride, and they're having the Big Top Circus all in one weekend. Oh my goodness. People are going to, I hope everything is peaceful, but these are some foolish people in this town. It's people that's trying to take gay people out like they are
Yeah.
militia or something.
They
It's,
trying to, hopefully you're gonna have to, you know, do your spiritual work to keep the peace. Somebody might be trying to start something.
and the AFRAM, when all these Asiatics get together, I hope they can be peaceful. I mean, it's been this COVID, and I don't think they had this AFRAM festival last year. It's a big Asiatic festival, and all these corporations come together to make money, of course. But
Off Juneteenth.
and it's Juneteenth also. So my goodness, the people are gonna show up and show out, I do believe. But the children are gonna be there. And they just made, they just rehabbed the park pool. So as hot as it was today, the park pool is gonna be open. So people are just gonna be inundated in that area. So I will pray that everything goes well, no unexpected events occurs. Yeah. So this was a good meeting. I like to hear the beginning of it, what I missed. I've been playing on the phone, not playing on the phone, just trying to get to this point. At one time, it seemed to be so easy to sign in. Now I feel like I'm jumping through hoops to try to sign in.
Well, do like I do. Remove all obstacles before I do anything. You never know what's lurking. I don't let nothing get in my way anymore.
I will do that. I will do that. Yes. So it's all right if you want to close out for me. I mean, I
All
don't hear
right.
nobody
How
else.
you feel? How you feel, Jareen? How you feel, Tribe? Y'all still there? Y'all sleep?
I'm well. I'm well.
Okay. Any final words or any current events you want to share with us?
Are you?
Okay. Well, we're gonna close it out then. We'll be back on Sunday to join with the rest of the family. You can find Empress Ninti at one Empress Ninti on Instagram. Our website, aborigineofamerica.com. Feel free to email me, Empress Royal Courts at Proton Mail. And you can also join us in chat on YouTube. Again, this has been another awesome edition of Imperial Lectures by Empress Ninti L. Bay and the Cherokee Nation of Moors Tribe. Have a good evening, family, and we will see you next time. Ashe.
Ashe. Peace and love.
Peace and love.